Okay, what we have is got a layout here of what we're going to do on this project. It lays out all the lights, lays out all the plugs, and lays out the switching. We even have a little color graphics for you, so this will make it kind of fun. Oh, by the way, I'm Professor Scher. I'm here to show you how to do it. Basically, all of our wires going back to the electrical panel are going to come up through our point of entry right here. For your homeowner, pretty much you're going to want to stub your wires down into your basement, down into your crawl space, or outside to the outside of your building for a certified electrician to hook up at a later date. If you are an electrician and you feel comfortable doing that, then you can go ahead and run these back to your main panel. So starting out from here, we're going to have a general circuit for lighting. That's going to be your red circuit here. It is also going to run your convenience outlets. This particular circuit is going to be on the arc fault circuit interrupter. Remember, that's your real sensitive circuit breaker designed to protect the electrical system, the electrical lighting to a very high level in the bedroom for fire reasons. In other words, if you have a little thin extension cord and it's running underneath the wheels of your bed or something and it gets crushed, this could get hot and catch fire long before a regular circuit breaker ever shuts off. This arc fault circuit interrupter will shut off immediately. As a matter of fact, if you plug an old clock into it or an old device of some sort, an old cell phone charger, that arc fault breaker is going to just keep shutting off and you're going to wonder why, and it's just there to protect you. An arc fault circuit interrupter it's a circuit breaker on steroids, basically. It's just a circuit breaker, goes in the circuit breaker box, and it monitors the neutral as well as the hot. So a regular circuit breaker just tells you if you're drawing too much current on the hot leg. An arc fault circuit interrupter is going to measure the amount of electricity going through the neutral and going through the hot wire. It's just kind of like a water wheel. If you dump a gallon of water on a water wheel, a gallon of water is going to come off the water wheel. It's the same thing when you're running a light or any type of appliance or anything. You're pushing electricity through to drive this device, and through the neutral is coming back the electricity going to ground. So an arc fault circuit interrupter basically is measuring the power going in and measuring the power going out. And if there's a deviation, if any electricity strays anywhere, it's going to shut off. Arc fault circuit interrupters is a circuit breaker. Those go into the circuit breaker panels. You're probably going to want to leave that for a certified electrician to take care of. So, if you're a homeowner and you're not a licensed electrician, you're not a certified electrician, definitely hire someone to come and put that circuit breaker in for you to control your system. Now, for your media circuit, this actually is also in the bedroom. Anything in the bedroom does need to be on an arc fault circuit interrupter. So we are going to put an arc fault breaker on that also. It's going to be what's called a home run all the way back to the circuit breaker panel so that nothing interrupts or interferes with our media center. Our television is going to be over here, and our DVD, sound system, and etc. is going to be over here. The fireplace is a dedicated appliance circuit. It's not going to require the arc fault circuit interrupter, but you may want to check the codes in your area. You may want to talk to the inspector in your area because he could require it. So we've got our three circuits. We've got our red circuit, we've got our blue circuit, we've got our green circuit. Those are going to be home runs back to the circuit breaker panel. We've got something else here. We've got a purple line. That's going to be our four-way switch. It's going to start out with a three-way switch to a four-way switch to a three-way switch. Let's see if we can get a little better understanding of that and also tell you what we're actually going to be doing with this. We've got landscape lighting out here, and we want to be able to control it from multiple areas in the building. We're going to control it from about 3 areas. Now, your standard three-way switch, even though it says three-way, really only will control in 2 locations. Basically, a three-way switch will turn on in one location. You can turn it off in the other location, or you can turn it otherwise at the second location. So you have 3 possibilities: on here, off there, and then you can reverse it by turning it on again. So they call that three-way. In order to do not two-way. You would think it would be a two-way. It's not. It's three-way. In order to do a four-way system, basically what you're doing is you're just adding another switch in between. It gives you more options. And you can add as many four-way switches as you want, up to about 10 or so. I've got a little drawing over here that shows you pretty much how it works. The hot goes into the three-way switch. The traveler legs go out of the three-way switch to the second three-way switch. And the hot comes out of the three-way switch going to your light. Your light, of course, is going to have your neutral, and coming off your switch is going to be hot. That's also the direction and travel of your electricity, as I was saying, kind of like a water wheel. This would actually be going to, essentially, to ground at some point. To add a four-way switch is pretty simple. Basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to break your traveler legs, and you're going to insert a four-way switch. If for some reason you needed to add another four-way switch, pretty simple. Going to add another four-way switch. In this case, I believe we're just going to have two three-way switches and one four-way switch. We're going to start out over here in the adjoining building with a three-way switch. We're going to come over to our building that we're working in with our four-way switch, and we're going to continue to the lower part of our project. There's actually another area to be remodeled or finished off at a later date, which is going to be the men's room. I guess it could be the women's room, people's room. That'd be the guys' room. Okay, well, we got the message there. So we're going to have our three-way switch downstairs. What this is going to control, ultimately, is we're going to control our landscape lighting all around our project. We're going to probably have some up lighting for our trees. We're going to have just various landscape lighting all the way around. That's going to plug into a transformer that we're going to have located somewhere in our basement down there. And transformers, low voltage lighting, number of watts required for that, that's going to have to be a different segment. So we've pretty much covered our lighting, our receptacles, our media center, power for our fireplace, and our four-way system for our low volt lighting. We're going to move on now to installing our recessed lights and to installing the circuit for the media center and the fireplace. All right, so now we're going to do a demonstration. We're going to show you how we detail or how we wire and install these fixtures. Basically, we've got a couple of different things, a lot of different options with these fixtures. There's a lot of information that we're going to be covering. It's going to be a little bit fast, but we'll try and cover it in detail so that you'll understand exactly what's going on. All right, so we're going to be working on the installation of these recessed cans. There's quite a few variations on the cans, so you're going to want to talk to your home improvement center, whoever's supplying your cans for you, to make sure that they give you a can that's appropriate for your particular installation. In this case, we're using just a standard IC-rated recessed can. This is a 6-inch can, referred to as a 6-inch can, that has to do with the diameter of the opening here. Got a lot of variations. Again, check with your home improvement center, wherever you're getting your supply from, and make sure that they help you choose out the can that's going to be right for your particular installation.